Yat A. She Lindsay Dashajine, Bibetoni Nishle, Na Kaidine Bashachin, Tachini Dashache, Sedachini Dashanale, Dok Osli, Benashni De, Nasha, Dene Sa Nishle. Those are my clans. And I'm called Lincia. My name is Lincia. I am a creative director for Nihije, our Voices in Indigenous Solutions podcast, geared toward, well, actually everyone. And it's just educating people on Indigenous topics. And project lead for the Speak for the Peaks Art Initiative. The Speak for the Peaks Art Initiative was really created to address the desecration of our sacred peaks, which in my language is known as Dokoaslid. Indigenous peoples are not given the space within institutions and organizations to express themselves. How do we facilitate that expression? How do we encourage it? And also to help people financially who are struggling. I guess the project is really trying to affirm what Indigenous people believe and think, and that's through art. So for me, I've always thought like, well, what would someone like me, like a past me, what would they need at this time? So I've always tried to work towards that, and I guess it has a lot to do with equity and our own philosophies regarding like and so how do we cultivate that? So I think a lot of the projects that I work on try to give voice to that, try to acknowledge those realities that are often ignored.
My job is to be a storyteller, to tell stories of the different people who make up the fabric of our community, which is a huge gift to me because it enables me to meet a wide range of people in the community. And that enables me to do work outside my work as the newspaper, to get involved in different areas in the community.
There's a lot of water coming.
For me, social media are great vehicles for me to reach the community and to share aspects of the community that I think are important. I got involved in the schools a lot through my work at the newspaper. In working with the children, I saw the importance of literacy, education, and teaching children to read. And I'm English. I've always loved the thought of having an 8-foot-tall, 1,600-pound cast iron English phone box in front of my house. One thing led to another, and this project was born. It was my crazy, wacky idea, but I knew that if the community was given something to be a part of, the community would take ownership of it. Another thing that I have been involved in is working with injured local wildlife. And it all tracks back to trying to set an example for my children that when you can, you help. And that can be people, but that can also be animals. The great benefit is my children get to grow up with a house full of wildlife. You know, if you inject that into the community, so much of it comes back to you, and it makes the community such a cohesive, better place. And I believe that there are lots of people in this community that I follow in their footsteps. It's really easy to say, oh, look at these giant footsteps. Yeah, this is the right thing to do. I can walk this way.
My name is Carrie Dallas. I work for Native Americans for Community Action as a program coordinator for a project called Tribal Practices for Wellness in Indian Country. In this project, I get to utilize culture in hopes of rejuvenating practices that might be healthy and enhance their well-being, as well as increasing better, healthier behaviors. The prevalence of diabetes is high amongst all Native Americans. My father was a double amputee, so diabetes is a preventable disease that I feel is part of my life journey. And being able to use culture as an intervention prevention program benefits our people in so many ways. What we did the first year was youth powwow dancing. It's very aerobic dancing. So with that, you also learn principles, you learn values, respect, honor, and I taught how to eat healthy so that you could have energy and strength throughout the day. The second year, we did Indigenous running, and then this last couple years, our program did Indigenous gardening, learning to be able to create food that is healthy. So there's so many things to culture, food, dress, art, music. And that's the lucky thing I get to do, is I get to include all of that and offer it to the people. This work I do is what I'm meant to do, and I accept it full-heartedly, and I'm really thankful.